Welcome back, everybody. At 6:30, here's a live look for you at Atlantic City, New Jersey. What an absolutely gorgeous sky this morning. So many different beautiful colors to start your Tuesday morning. And the Ferris wheel even lighting up too. Getting ready for some folks to maybe come down the shore today. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Amanda Van Allen.
And I'm Nick Foley. Meteorologist Monica Cryan is here as well. And of course, Monica, it is the first day of school for so many as people head back. At least it's a decent morning out there, but we know changes are coming in the form of a lot of rain.
Yeah, I can't believe it. And we are talking about the height of the hurricane season getting closer and closer. And we already have experienced some of the worst of it. Down through the southeast is where Ida made landfall as a Category 4. Now, it quickly fell from a Category 4 back into a tropical storm, tropical depression. This is going to be a remnant low as it passes through our region, but still expecting to bring us a whole lot of rain. Just because it's a remnant low doesn't mean it's not going to pack a punch. And so we are expecting heavy rain through Wednesday and into Thursday. Now, how about your Tuesday? Well, Tuesday, to kickstart the early morning hours, you can see a good amount of cloud cover, rain off to our west, but I think we're mainly dry. Then those showers and thunderstorms start to move in as we head into our Wednesday, which is why a flash flood watch has already been issued Wednesday morning all the way through Thursday afternoon, with the potential being 2 to 5 inches across the Delaware Valley, but some of the higher amounts closer to that 5-inch north and west of 95. And there is a severe threat south and east of 95 down through South Jersey and the Delmarva. I've got to look at that full forecast coming up. Let's get it to Jenna now with a check of traffic. Hey, Jenna.
Hi, Monica. So really one more calm day here before we're dealing with a lot of that heavy rain. A live look outside over the Girard Point Bridge. Not seeing any of that fog like we saw yesterday morning, so that's nice. Looks like traffic here is moving in both directions. Now, the Tacony-Palmyra Bridge, that was up for a little while for a northbound ship. Back down and moving, so you can use that, but it looks like with that northbound ship, we will see a Burlington-Bristol Bridge opening within the next half hour. So I'll keep an eye on that, but let's just prepare for it. 95 northbound here in Delaware County, just before the Blue Route, still following this crash here, blocking off the right lane just in front of this PennDOT vehicle. That vehicle there actually facing horizontally. Looks like they may have lost control and hit the wall here. So police on scene blocking that ramp partially as folks are heading on to 95 northbound. As you can imagine, this is causing some big delays for those traveling through Delaware County. That travel time continuing to grow. 17 minutes right now from Route 322 to the Blue Route. That's only a 5-mile stretch, so very heavy.
All right.
Nick, over to you.
Keep that in mind. All right, Jenna, thank you so much. Well, topping this half hour, America's longest war is over. The last U.S. troops left Afghanistan yesterday, with some Americans and Afghan allies still left behind.
The State Department promises to bring them home, but Republicans on Capitol Hill are calling for Congress to step in. Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer explains.
Good morning. While Republicans are condemning the president for working with the Taliban, who is now in control of the region, but the president is celebrating this moment, saying that after 20 years, U.S. troops are coming home.
I'm here to announce the completion of our withdrawal from Afghanistan.
The Pentagon says the last C-17 carrying American troops left Monday afternoon at 3:29 p.m. Eastern Time. Major General Chris Donahue of the 82nd Airborne Division, the last American soldier to leave.
The military mission is over. A new diplomatic mission has begun.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says U.S. diplomatic presence will be transferred from Kabul to Doha as the Taliban now takes control of the country, celebrating with gunfire as the last American aircraft took off. But not all Americans got out in time.
We believe there are still a small number of Americans, under 200 and likely closer to 100, who remain in Afghanistan and want to leave.
The State Department says they're still trying to determine the exact number of Americans left behind and vow to help them leave. For lawmakers who served in the war in Afghanistan, the promises are empty.
Basically, everybody but this administration is getting Americans and our allies out.
A group of Republican congressmen and veterans met Monday night condemning the Biden administration for working with the Taliban, warning the war isn't over.
The homeland is now at more risk than it has been in 20 years.
And some Republicans are pushing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to bring the House back into session to address the situation. President Biden will speak on leaving Afghanistan later this afternoon. Reporting in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
Meantime, here at home, hundreds of Afghan refugees are being processed at the Philadelphia airport. Several flights touched down at the airport early this morning. The City of Philadelphia's Office of Emergency Management is busy processing those refugees and their families. City officials say a total of 883 refugees have arrived at the airport. If you'd like to help these families with monetary donations, you can reach out to the city's Office of Immigration Affairs. Donated supplies are not being accepted at the airport.
In New Jersey, family and friends are mourning the loss of a lifeguard who died after being struck by lightning in Ocean County. The lightning also injured 7 other people, including 3 lifeguards on the beach in Seaside Park. According to Ocean County Sheriff's Office, everyone injured is expected to make a full recovery. The identity of the deceased lifeguard has not been released.
You know, I'd seen stuff on Facebook from people who had been down there before me, but seeing it for myself, it was tough.
Search and rescue is underway in Louisiana after Hurricane Ida left catastrophic damage throughout the state. Officials confirming at least 2 deaths so far and hundreds of people rescued as more than 1 million folks in the storm's path are still without power. The Category 4 hurricane put the state's levee system to the test and it prevailed. A majority of it withstood the storm.
And of course, that major hurricane slamming the Gulf Coast, but it could have an impact on Americans nationwide. How Ida might impact your wallet at the pump. Back at 6:39 on this Tuesday, the aftermath of Hurricane Ida could impact the country at the pump. Ida hit Louisiana hard, forcing refining operations and oil production to shut down in the Gulf of Mexico. Oil prices are starting out slightly higher this morning after jumping 10% last week. The major storm shut down nearly all oil production in the Gulf of Mexico, which accounts for about 15% of the U.S. total supply.
Meteorologist Monica Cryan back here now for a check at our forecast.
All right, as these storms start to weaken, we count its weakening just in terms of wind, but we don't really count what's coming down when we're talking rain. So this is still packing a punch. Even though it only has winds at 30 miles per hour, this tropical depression still has a whole lot of moisture and risk for flooding. It's moving northeast at 12 miles per hour, which is putting the Delaware Valley kind of in its direct path of heaviest rainfall. And you can see some of the heaviest rain, a swatch of it in the very eastern parts of West Virginia up into southeast PA, including the Harrisburg area. In some locations could see over 7 inches of rain. A little bit closer to 95, including our area, 3 to 6 inches. And that's pretty widespread throughout the entire region, including 95. Further south and east, 1 to 3 inches, but they're also concerned a little further south and east with some severe thunderstorms popping up late Wednesday. We have a flash flood watch already in effect, or that we're anticipating as we head into our Wednesday all the way through Thursday. So timing this out for you, the rest of your day today, just a lot of cloud cover. And so it's going to be really moist out there. And you can see as we head into our Wednesday in the very early morning hours already, rain is getting going. But it looks like right around rush hour, southeast PA, north and west of 95, seeing the heaviest rain. And then it starts to really fill in down through South Jersey and into Delaware as we head into the evening. Heaviest, most widespread activity, that's going to be late Wednesday. By Thursday in the morning hours, we're still left with rain, but it will start to move out so that by Thursday afternoon, mid 70s, partly cloudy skies, drier Friday through Saturday. I'll send it back to you.
All right, looking forward to this weekend. Thanks, Monica. Coming up, Kyrie Stewart is keeping this show right on track by checking out a certain museum in Montgomery County. Hey, Kyrie.
Hey, Nick and Amanda, all aboard Express 17. We are at the Rockledge Model Railroad Museum, and we're going to take a trip through this place right after the break, and its members are going to show us how they get these trains going. Stay with us.
It's 6:44 now. Okay, game-worn sneakers or jerseys we get, but are used boxer shorts really a collectible item? Well, Leland's Memorabilia seems to think so. They have a pair of Michael Jordan's boxers up for auction with an opening bid of $500. The shorts are described as showing signs of heavy use. Whatever the heck that means. They do have a dry cleaning tag inside, so at least they have been washed, allegedly. The shorts ended up in the hands hands of Jordan's longtime bodyguard, John Wozniak, along with other articles of clothing and personal items. The auction runs for 25 more days.
Ugh. This is sometimes, as a collector, you just have to draw the line, right?
Why are they washed? Yeah. That's annoying. They should not be washed. They should be heavily used and not washed so you can get the full effect.
Oh.
That's disgusting.
Who's going to buy that?
Frame it. You don't wear it. Just frame it. This is cool.
So then why does it matter if they're washed or not washed if you're framing
Exactly. Don't wash them.
No, if you're just framing them. That's foul.
That is foul.
That is foul. Keep the skid marks. It just shows how serious
God.
Oh
my God. Need that. I don't need that right now in my life.
Yeah.
So does the bodyguard, is he the one that's giving them?
Yeah.
What's Michael Jordan think? Because he's like, all right, cool.
Well, it sounds like he just took a lot of things probably in transition and maybe just made some money off it, I guess.
Yeah, this whole thing. I wonder if he's okay with, his boxers now going up for auction.
Probably not.
There's probably weirder things that have gone up for auction of his. Maybe he's used to it, like.
Well, you know there's some folks out there that are going to bid.
I don't think the fact that the boxers are up, like there's definitely going to be people who buy them, but it's the whole debate of the wash and the not wash that.
Oh, gosh. All right, well, if you've watched television at all the past 48 hours, of course, you know there's been a lot of live reports from the Gulf Coast as Hurricane Ida made landfall. And apparently, there's one thing people just cannot resist doing when they see a reporter in the field. Take a look.
This power crew from Missouri, okay, they just got here from Missouri, and they're getting on staff. But remember I told you back around 6 p.m. local time, about an hour ago, we lost power here.
That's right. Cartwheels. Here's another one. People look for the bright camera lights. They run behind the reporter and then get themselves on live TV. I've done lots of hurricanes, and you do see folks who kind of mingle out when it's really bad. Just kind of odd to see someone who's got all the gear that you need to be prepared in that, and then someone else in just jeans and t-shirt doing cartwheels behind him.
Like, he looks like he's late for school. Like, what? What?
So this is, I'm guessing this is Jim Cantori.
Yes.
Yeah, he attracts this. I mean, anywhere he goes, people will find him and they will try and do funny things. It doesn't mean Jim Cantori is making it look worse than it is, and those people aren't making it look... You know what I mean? He's standing still.
Yeah.
So
and you can see like the bushes behind him.
Yeah.
Like really.
Yeah, and his clothing is moving pretty fast. It's very windy out, you can tell.
Yeah. When you're standing for hours in that type of, it gets relentless. When you're doing cartwheels in it and then getting into a safe spot, like.
Hopefully getting into a safe spot.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope
that's not guaranteed.
No. I guess I'm sort of a poop when it comes to this stuff, but like when I'm out there like that and there's a literal hurricane coming, I just want to do my job. Like you're distracting me, you're like stopping me from getting information out to people, and that is like incredibly annoying. I get that it's all like fun and everything for people, but like it's also my job. So.
Yeah. There's always going to be the crew, the people that want to get on camera when they can.
Especially when they see Jim Cantori.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, 6:48 now. Some of us played with toy trains when we were kids, right? But did you know it's actually a growing hobby for adults?
And there is a place in our area where you can learn how to make them yourself. Our Kyrie Stewart joins us now live from Rockledge Model Railroad Museum with more. Hey, Kyrie.
Hey guys, I don't think you're ever too old to play with toy trains, and they have lots of them right here at the Rockledge Model Railroad Museum. I'm joined here with Doug. He is the club president. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, so first of all, tell us about this place, because this is really cool. Like when I walked in, I felt like a little kid again.
This building was built in 1927. We started in 2014, as this is our fourth layout that this organization has built. It's a scale railroad, actually not considered toys, it's actually considered scale. This is HO scale, which is 1/87th.
So how big is this place? Like how many trains do you have here? How many cars do you all have here? It's just amazing.
Okay, the layout takes up about 3,000 square foot in this building. There's probably about 400 freight cars, there's probably 50 or 60 engines, which are all owned by our members. As in terms of scale miles, it's 13 scale miles from one end to the other when it'll be completed.
And what's really cool is that you all control these wirelessly because you have a little device right over here in your hand that you're able to control it with, and that controls the speed and everything, right?
It controls the speed, the direction, the horn.
All right, so am I able to try it out?
On the right-hand knob.
All right, so how does this work?
You turn it clockwise, speeds it up.
All right, I'm going to hand you the mic here. Let's try this out.
There it goes.
Oh, look at that.
Takes its time. It's got a little momentum on it.
How fast can it go?
It can go pretty fast. We usually run them at scale speeds to represent what the railroad is. So passenger trains will run faster than freight trains. Okay, very shortly you're going to lose this train. It's going to disappear into a tunnel.
Gotcha. Now, what I really like about this model is that it represents a lot of the towns right here in our area too, right?
Yeah, this railroad is modeled after the Schuylkill Division of the Pennsylvania Railroad and the Reading Division, which runs from Ballackinwood up from West Philly, up through Phoenixville, Norristown, representing what's called a fallen flag, the railroad that was one time there. You actually ride bikes on it right now.
That's really neat. So how long does it take to put just one train together in general?
One train or one track?
Both.
Okay. A car is a matter of an hour or two. You can build a car and you weather it. The track, there's actually, you can see some construction behind us where we're actually building a turnout. We do it rail by rail. Each of the ties goes down. You can actually see some what's under construction. We actually do use little spikes to hold this rail down.
That's really cool. Really neat, really cool to look at. Thank you so much, Doug. I really appreciate it. Nick and Amanda, again, this is just so cool. Might be a new hobby for me. Just being able to control the train wirelessly and just looking at how everything looks here is just amazing. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, I actually get to build a train, and then I'm going to actually help them put part of this track together as well. So stay tuned for that.
Very cool, Kyra. You see just how elaborate everything is in that setup. Pretty neat.
And the attention to detail is just amazing, too.
Exactly, yeah. Have fun. We'll see you in our next hour.
Coming up for you this morning, many people have heard of the saying, fake it till you make it. Well, one high school football team may have taken it too literally. The football game that is going viral this morning. Meteorologist Monica Cryan here for another check of our forecast. Monica, first day of school.
First day of school. It's nice to see that things are pretty quiet for many of us heading back for the school year. Tomorrow's a much different story. So for your bus stop forecast, let's enjoy it while we can. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures low 70s, feeling pretty comfortable. And then later in the afternoon, low to mid 80s, a good amount of cloud cover, maybe an isolated shower. But when we're talking rain, it's really focusing in on Wednesday. Even in the morning hours, I think southeast PA is starting off with at times some scattered showers and thunderstorms, really increasing in intensity as we head through the afternoon. Some of the most widespread, heaviest rain is actually going to be Wednesday evening. So let's be ready for a soaker on Wednesday, even at the bus stop. Let's send it to Jenna now. She's got a check of those roadways. Hey, Jenna.
Hi, Monica. Flooding a big concern, so stay with us throughout the rest of the week as we cover some of that. 95 northbound back out here into Delaware County just before the Blue Route. That crash that was blocking off the right lane as well as the on-ramp here has since cleared. Still dealing with a bit of a residual delay at 15 minutes right now from 322 to the Blue Route. This number is on its way back down though, so I would give it about 10 to 15 minutes for that to break up, that delay there. So if you can delay leaving your house for a little bit there, I think that'll save you time. Burlington Bristol Bridge opening, that is happening right now here. That northbound ship is passing through, so I'd head north towards the Turnpike Connector Bridge or south towards the Tacony Palmyra Bridge. Amanda, over to you.
Good advice there. Thanks, Jenna. The time is now 6:56. Let's check sports this morning. And all of a sudden, the Phillies are on a hot streak.
Yeah, playing much better of late. They came into last night's game in Washington, winners of their last 3 games, and they kept that momentum going. So Phil's up 3-2 with the bases loaded here in the 3rd inning. Ronald Torreyes clearing the bases. It almost gets out for a grand slam. Stays in the park, and it is a triple that drives in 3 runs. The Phils go on to win 7-4. And now, combined with the Atlanta Braves loss, the Phils are now 3.5 games behind Atlanta for first place in the National League East, so still fighting.
Woo! And the Eagles' newest acquisition was at practice yesterday, as seen last night on Action News at 10 here on PHL17. New backup quarterback Gardner Minshew put on the Eagles helmet for the first time ever. No word yet on where Minshew will be on the quarterback depth chart. He has started 20 games in his NFL career.
Well, former Birds quarterback Carson Wentz is now on the Indianapolis Colts reserve COVID-19 list. Reports say that Wentz and 2 other players were added to that list after coming in close contact with a team staffer that had tested positive. All 3 players are not vaccinated, so they need to sit out for 5 days and show back-to-back negative tests in order to return.
Sports Network ESPN may have fumbled on a recent high school game.
So the network may have been tricked into airing a game with a team that is not legitimate. Take a look.
Bishop Sycamore told us they had a number of Division I prospects on their roster. To be frank, a lot of that we could not verify. And they did not show up in our database. They did not show up in the databases of other recruiting services. So it's okay. If that's what you're telling us, fine. That's how we take it in. From what we've seen so far, this is not a fair fight.
So this story just gets more bizarre. Whether or not Bishop Sycamore, the team in black, is even a school, still up for debate in several online reports. Some called it an online charter school based out of Ohio, but another report said the school isn't even listed with the Ohio Department of Education and that the school is actually a religious school out of Texas. Now, they were playing national powerhouse IMG, who consistently churns out NFL talent. IMG won the game 58-0. All right, coming up on this Tuesday morning, thousands of kids heading back to school today. But as those kids return to the classroom, there are still a lot of COVID precautions to follow. We have a live report after the break.